Okay, what's good, YouTube? We got another market breakdown for those of you that want understanding on what's going on with the market and why it's moving, how it's moving. And also, just from my own self understanding, pretty much like a self notebook. That's why I make these videos, right? But today's price action on the lower time frame was super clean. Pretty much the easiest sales. This is like ideally what you want to see, right? If you trade ICT concepts, right? If you trade something else like trend lines, right? With trading, depending on your strategy, what your strategy tells you is that's like your own fried Bible, right? So some people's strategy might have gave them a super clean setup today, whereas some people's strategy didn't, right? As for me, the way I trade, we got a super clean short today, and I'm about to break that down. So obviously on the higher time frame, as I was mentioning before, we are currently bearish in my opinion because this 4-hour order block was held. Then we created displacement at this level, and I want to see if this level was held. Now, two things did happen overnight that I wanna point out. When I say overnight, I'm saying between the Asian session, so anywhere all the way up from around 6 p.m. all the way up till the next morning session. So 6 p.m. to about the next 6 a.m. That 12-hour period overnight, we did come up and close above what I want to see this be held as an order block, right? And we did inverse this level, right? We did inverse this gap. But if you look, this previous day high remains, which was right below this order block. If you look at ES right here, ES actually took out this previous day highs. So what does that mean? We have SMT. SMT, again, is when we have one of the corresponding pairs take out a higher low and the other one doesn't. It's a strong chance of a reversal. So we get that SMT around, around 5 a.m. in the morning, and NQ never pushes up and takes out the previous day high. So come 9 a.m., whenever price is opening, right? 9:30 New York time is when the price New York stock market opens, right? We never take out this previous day high. Meaning this SMT is still in place, meaning there's a high chance that we want to reverse. So I'm gonna drop down one more, or nah. First of all, on this hourly time frame, I had this I had this bullish breaker right here, and I had this bullish fair value gap right here. And I wanted to see if price would respect it. Now, obviously, overnight we respected it, but we respected it to do one thing. Price went to go put in this S&T so we could have the sell move in the morning, right? Whenever you get more experience and you start to understand the market more, you'll understand why certain things happen the way they do happen, right? Because this looks bullish right here, right? But all in all, this was just a manipulation move higher to set up this S&T. Now, does that mean we can't go higher now? No, that's not true, because now we've came back. We've taken out this low. We filled up the rest of the bullish breaker. We've tapped into this new day opening gap. So now price generally wants to go higher, it can. But as far as the AM session shorts, right, this was all pretty much a manipulation higher to make you think that you want to buy come morning time, right? Made our S&T and respected this gap at the time being. So my stops, my take profit one would be below this low, because that's where the most stops would be placed, right? That's where a lot of people have their stop loss, right? Below this low. Because if we had this large move up here, people are looking at this area like, hey, this is an area of demand, right? This is an area of demand. I'm gonna put my stop right here. I'll fuck around, take another trade and buy. Once it gets right here with my stop below this demand, let's take it all the way back up towards this resistance. That's wrong. At least for the concepts that I trade, that's wrong, right? So boom, with that being said, I'll change this black just so it doesn't get ugly right here. All right. With that being said, a lot of stops are going to be right here because of the fact that people are looking at this as an area of support or area of demand, whatever you want to call it, right? As you see, price ends up running straight through it. Now, I'll drop down one more time frame. Let's look at this 15-minute time frame, right? This is when our S&T gets put in during the London session, right? These Asia highs, daily highs, whatever you want to call them, get taken on ES, but not on NQ, right? I'll remark that out again just on NQ so you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? They get taken on NQ, but not ES. That's your S&T. anyways, with that being said, we already want to lean bearish. And then I want you guys to notice what happens right here. This is the 9:30 open, right? We have these AM1 highs. Guess what gets made right here? Like, this is textbook right now. The 9:45 15-minute candle comes up and wicks out these 8:15 lows. Wicks out these 8:15 lows, which would be a minor buy side level, right? We take out the high. Whereas on ES, those highs remain untouched, meaning we now have what? SMT. SMT around open is going to be always be one of your strongest SMTs, right? If we get an SMT around the price that around the area where market opens when there's a lot of volume, like anywhere between 9:30 10 a.m., that's always going to be a strong SMT, right? It's always going to be like one of the as strong as it gets. So we break that down. That added more confluence, right? And not only is that an SMT, we also have a minor sweep of liquidity right here. That'd be a sweep of our minor buy side liquidity, right? And then pretty textbook after that still, right? We come in, we create this SMT at 9:49, right? If you know, you know. We have a 950 macro, right? That 950 macro is going to run from 950 to 1010. Price usually operates pretty efficiently or makes its true move, right? So 950 to 1010, I'll illustrate that here. 950 to 1010 is an area where we want to see price begin to deliver toward its true draw on liquidity, right? 950 macro. And we pretty much did that perfectly today, right? We had this change in state of delivery created right here, which then formed as an order block. As you see, price failed to close above it. We came and tapped into this bearish fair value gap pretty much perfectly. This would be a perfect entry. You could have entered on this bearish fair value gap. You could have entered right here at this order block. There was a lot of entries that you were offered today, right? You could have entered at, even if you were super late, you could have entered at this volume imbalance made right near the new day opening gap. You just would have had a way bigger stop loss. But ideally, you get in right here at this fair value gap. You don't need to stop all the way up here, because 9 times out of 10, if we come take out this high, this trade would be invalid, right? We'd want to see the 50% of this fair value gap respected, which is exactly what happened. And from right there, it stops right here above the wick of the previous candle, right? And boom, just like that, price has a run all the way to where? I'll go back to the hourly time frame so it's clear and easy to see. The same hourly low that I pointed out, a lot of people look this area as resistance or demand zone, right? And would not want to see this level broken. They want to see it protected. So a lot of stops are going to be remaining below here because people think this whole area right here is going to be some type of demand zone, right? So what does price do? Price comes and knocks out those lows, but where their stop loss is where our take profit is. That's always how we want to trade. Where their stop loss is, that's where our take profit is. And this actually would have been a 1 in 10 right here. So insane move. Let's say you put $100 on this, you would have made 1,000, right? You put $1,000 on this, you made 10K. So pretty textbook trade. That's all I got for today. Pretty simple. Depending on how the rest of the day goes, I might do a breakdown for the PM session, but you never want to overcomplicate shit. You want to keep shit pretty simple. That was honestly a textbook move. There's not really anything else I'd want to see today, right? After those shorts, be super content. Like if you catch a 1 in 10, take your money and get off the market. You know what I'm saying? Get paid and get out. Simple as that. Get paid, get out. Right? That's the motto we live by when it comes to this trading shit. Because I've came across large profits and gave the shit right back, trying to be greedy, right? That's the greed they talk about in the Bible. So get paid, get out, leave it at that. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. I got a free Discord in the description. If you learn something, join that bitch. I'm trying to build a group of like-minded individuals, right? Or people that are just interested in learning, right? It's no charge to it, it's no cost to it. Just get in there. We're gonna grow slowly, little by little. But I'm gone.